For a manufacturing company, creating content for its digital signage network can be challenging. In this video, I will present good practices to help you. Automate content. By connecting your digital signage software with your internal data sources, it allows you to display your content automatically. Therefore, you can easily share your live production data in real time. You can share the upcoming events that are scheduled on the calendar and highlight your employees' birthdays. Adapt your playlist duration. Subject to screen's location, the exposure time of your audience may vary. As an example, a screen that's installed at the main entrance of the factory, where employees pass quickly, the exposure time is shorter compared to a screen that's installed in the break room, where employees spend several minutes. Tailor the content based on your screen's location. Depending on where your screens are installed, you should not necessarily display the same content on all your screens. As an example, a screen installed at the main entrance could display the important announcements, while a screen installed on the production floor could display the number of days without accidents or other production indicators. Consequently, the playlist on the screen at the main entrance of the factory should be shorter compared to the playlist on the screen in the break room. Customize your content with your branding guidelines. Your digital signage network is part of your global communication. For that reason, it's preferable to personalize your messages with your color chart and your font. Divide your screen layout into multiple zones. This allows you to maximize the space on your screen and display more information at the same time. In a bigger zone, you can display your most important messages, and in smaller zones, display information that is complementary or attention-grabbing. A good practice with a multi-zone layout is to keep a 16:9 ratio. Why this recommendation? Because 16:9 is the same ratio as a standard full-screen display. Therefore, you most likely already have content that matches this ratio. Outline your zones clearly. By dividing your display into several zones, the content is easily readable and one can quickly distinguish the content that belongs to one zone versus another. Here are 2 tips. The first tip, maintain safety margins around your zones. As an example, on the image you see on the screen, around the secondary zone, there's a safety margin of 50 pixels. The second tip, use different colors or hues. As an example, on the image on the screen at the moment, the content in the main zone have a background that is lighter than the one in the secondary zone on the right. As for the section at the bottom of the screen, it is simply white. Create content adapted to the resolution, or perhaps I should say adapted to the ratio of each of your zones. Otherwise, you'll have empty spaces around your content, and that's not very pretty. As an example, if you have a zone with a 16:9 ratio, please don't add portrait content inside it. In fact, in ITESLIVE, we offer a large bank of free content adapted to many resolutions and therefore to all your zones. Use a large enough font size. Depending on how far your audience is from the screen, the minimum font size recommended will vary. As an example, for an audience that is between 10-12 feet away from the screen, the minimum recommended character size will be around 30-35 points. The text color must be sufficiently contrasted with its background color. As an example, if you have a dark background color, put in lighter color text. If you have a video or an image that's in the background of your content, put a semi-transparent layer on top of it. That way, the text within it can be easily read. Be concise. Keep it extremely simple. Digital signage is not a tool for displaying large, detailed PDF document. No, it must be short messages that will serve as reminders or that will briefly explain a message. If it's too long, your audience won't read your message or won't have time to read it all, and you'll miss your communication goal.